How's it going, guys? Coffee here. Today I wanted to go over some tips and tricks for solo self-found for players to help them get through the campaign faster, as well as just help them get through the Nether realm faster as well. As a reminder, today on the 18th, this is the first of two SSF Traveler T7 events that are going on. The first one is being ran by Gooba. The forms are going to be included below. If you register in this, you will get yourself some Jagged Primo Cyst as well as potentially other prizes. And I am doing a raffle for a Steam gift card to anyone who basically competes in the event. You get extra entries for actually completing the T7 Traveler as well. So first things first, let's go ahead and jump into some good recommendations and things for when you are first going through the campaign on a brand new character and when you're first leveling through things. With some additions or changes that they made recently to the game, the rares that you run into will have random mods, and because of that, when you are running through the campaign while you are leveling, it is recommended to only be killing like normal and blue mobs. When it comes to killing rares, if a lot of them will have very tanky stats where they'll be very, very hard to kill. And because of that, you don't want to be wasting time trying to kill these mobs that are extremely tough. So you're better off just going through again, killing the white mobs, killing the blue mobs. But if you see rares, you're better off just continuing to run past them and moving straight to your objective. Same thing goes for while you are running through the campaign. It is recommended that you do not bother with the side quests. So any of the quests that have a white icon, so this one up here is white. We're not actually going to do that one. We want to just run straight over here. It's not going to show on my map, but straight over here is where the one is for the actual main story quest here. If you just keep running straight across. These are what you want to be focusing on. So these gold main story quests here. And that will ensure that you get through the campaign very, very quickly. Same thing goes is basically for every single one of your treasure troves. When you do run into the treasure troves themselves, you want to basically run them until you are 8 to 10 levels above what the treasure trove is. And then you just continue to go back to the campaign, and then you're able to basically run through, kill a minimal amount of monsters and packs. So basically, again, focusing on the blues and the whites. And then you just basically speedrun your way through those zones. The next big thing to focus on is, again, setting up a custom filter. I've covered this in a few videos before. So I have custom filters for most of the characters that I play. But if not, check out the filter video. And that way you can kind of set up a filter to showcase the specific gear that you are looking for on your character. In order to ensure that it shows up in a special way so that you don't have to actually hover over and check the mods on every single piece of gear on the ground, because it can take it can take a lot of time to do that. The other thing is going to be while you are going through the Nether realm and you are trying to progress the quest for the T7 Traveler, is that you will end up having you'll end up getting this quartz grain while you're at it as well, which you can turn into ground quartz here, which is used to upgrade the mods on gear. But most importantly is you get access to the beacon shop. So the beacon shop here is where you can use your Netherrealm residence in order to purchase beacons of whatever tier that you need to be. They do unlock at certain tiers, so you can't buy the beacons for T7 until you hit level 88. But you can still buy the lower ones as well with these resources here. And if you do start to run low on these, there is a card that you can unlock that I do highly recommend you run early on. And that is this card here, Lively, which gives monsters a chance to basically drop additional Netherrealm resonance. When you are running this early on, you are basically ensuring that you'll always have enough of these to ensure that you can buy all the beacons that you need in order to basically quickly get through the Netherrealm story and quest stuff in order to basically get yourself up to doing the Traveler itself. Same thing goes, the ones for dropping beacons are especially good on solo self-found, just because, again, getting access to your beacons, not having to spend another realm on them is definitely helpful as usual. And then of course you want to focus on more of the cards for gear and things like that. The other big thing to really focus on is when you are doing any of these zones is there will be these events here that either give this one here, which is going to give you a really good hero relics or memories. This is the best way to actually get these here on SSF, is if you actually focus on doing these. You don't have to actually go and do Black Sail, and these are going to drop you ones that are really rolled very well. Same thing goes, there's some for, there's a epic one here for Divinity Slates as well. And then the other cards you really want to be focusing on are these Voyager cards here that drop pieces of your Voyager set. When you are doing these cards, you do have to keep in mind that when you do finally progress them, in order to actually get your reward, you do need to do the trial that it mentions. I have an issue myself where I will frequently skip God of Machines or God of Might, and I have accidentally rolled over these cards multiple times by not doing the trial that is required. So make sure you're paying attention to that. But the main things you're trying to focus on when you are doing SSF, again, getting all of your Voyager gear early, because your Voyager gear, as you can see here, is they all have really high defensive stats. So you get 2 really nice rolls for resistances, you get a nice roll for life on them, and then you get a nice useful stat for the character, as well as an extra bonus, like a set bonus. Here you can see the 2-piece set bonus is already just movement speed. The 4-piece set bonus is even more resistances. So these are all really big, and something you want to try to focus on getting right away. So these are kind of the quests you are hunting for while you are going through on these. You will see these not quite as much as when you go higher up in tiers, but in the lower tiers you'll start to see them quite often here. So you see this one here for the Voyager set item. They each do have specific set items they can get, but they are really important to focus on. The other thing I do kind of recommend is if your character is capable of doing it, I recommend actually pushing up as high as you possibly can in one specific tier here. Because as you complete more and more tiers on this specific one here, you are going to be getting better EXP earlier on, which does make it to where you end up getting the other areas unlocked. They will be easier to progress as well, and then you don't really have to focus on the EXP in them. You can just kind of speed run through on the easiest map, or the shortest map rather, just to quickly get the completion of the actual watcher itself. So yeah, I think that covers most of them. For if it is a trade league, there are some trade specific things you really want to focus on, but because this is solo self-found, you don't really need to worry about those. The other big ones to do is, again, ensure that you are using gear empowerment on your gear to get the energy up on your gear, so that you can basically, again, use more supports on your skills. Focusing on the cards from the Chaos deck that give you energy cores is really big early on as well, because energy cores are pretty hard to come by. So anytime you can do one of the couple maps to get guaranteed 20 of them, that's going to really help your ability to reroll your gear early on. And also just be looking for high rolled energy gear on your filter. So that's the other benefit of kind of pushing one zone all the way up to tier 6 or tier 7, is you'll start getting that high energy gear, that max energy gear rather. So then you can use that, and then you can kind of use that to power your way through everything else that you need. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the description, or questions or comments, leave them down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And other than that, see you in the next one.